everybody, it is I, Ren Orumi. Welcome to the video. Today I have a very special one for you. This is mostly because Vivi has sent both of these to me one night and was like, hey, Ren, you've been talking about Honkai Impact lore and you're curious in it. Here's two videos that literally came out like 2 days apart from each other or so, or something like that. I'm not really sure, but long story short is I have like two Honkai Impact stories, or two Honkai, oh my goodness, Honkai Impact the Third lore videos. I believe it's both by Hamu Labs, if I remember if the links are correct that Vivi sent me. This is a special Vivi video, so you can thank her for this, and if you guys have any recommendations, leave them below. I already have like my next Go-To Gear video up here ready to go, so I can get that recorded. We're going to get this stuff going. I want to know the lore of Honkai Impact, because my favorite character in Honkai Star Rail happens to be Welt Yang, and Welt Yang allegedly is from the Honkai Impact storyline. So I kind of want to know how the story plays out. Hopefully I fixed the audio for this one. The audio shouldn't be scuffed, I hope. Pray with me that the audio's not scuffed, guys. If it is, I'm sorry. But yeah, if you're new here, hey, hit that like and subscribe button. And yeah, stick around for more controversial videos for whenever I decide to do those. I kind of have one I want to probably make, and it's only because of a conversation I had today. And it's about how all the things that we stream and record on are actually just kind of garbage. YouTube, Twitch, Kick, all of it. It's garbage. There's people who fire at each side. It's kind of crazy. Anyway, let's get into this. I hope this is good. I hope I like the lore. Let's fucking go, gamers.
Used in the game. The most common use refers to the Honkai phenomena, a mysterious and destructive force that plagues Earth in Honkai Impact 3rd.
What?
The Honkai usually grows alongside technological advancements of civilizations, manifesting through plagues, natural disasters, and even monsters such as zombies and Honkai beasts.
So already there's zombies, Honkai... Okay, zombies, plagues, so it's just...
The second meaning refers to Honkai energy, which causes the Honkai phenomena. Honkai energy is extremely dangerous to humans due to the radiation it emits, but it powers almost everything in the story, from the battles it's used in combat to the mechs and other...
Was that Himiko though? Wait, was that Himiko? That kind of looks like Himiko. That kind of looks like Himiko. Is that... Wait a minute.
Powers almost everything in the story, from the battles it's used in combat to the mechs and other weapons. Lastly, the third meaning, it refers to the Cocoon of Finality, a higher dimensional being and the main perpetrator of the Honkai phenomena. Previous era, a highly advanced period from 50,000 years ago. The Cocoon of Finality trapped Earth in a 50,000 year loop, where every time the Earth is destroyed, it gets reset. The previous...
Okay, well, God said... You know what? When you fuck up bad, you go to Groundhog Day. Okay, that's kind of fucked. Well, shit. What do you do at that point? You're just fucked.
Previous era is the previous cycle, and many technologies from that time were preserved or reproduced in the current era. Valkyries are a group of female warriors enhanced by a genetic imprint known as Stigmata, and they are the main force tasked with fighting the Honkai. There are two types of Stigmata, natural, which awakens on its own in selected individual, and artificial, an attempt to recreate the Stigmata technology in the current era, though it's far from perfect. The person responsible for copying the Stigmata technology in the current era is Otto Apocalypse, the overseer of Shiksa.
Wait, so we have a guy named Otto Apocalypse who is creating these clone-esque Valkyries. But there's also Valkyries who have the powers that wake up like naturally in them, but then there's the clone ones, I guess, to fight in the war against all this calamity? Am I following this right, or am I dumb? That guy sounds like he's the bad guy. Like, his name's got Apocalypse in it. He's gotta be a bad guy.
The main organization on Earth tasked with fighting the Honkai. Other notable organizations include Anti-Entropy, which used to be part of Schicksal but broke away due to disagreements with Otto's methods. Instead of human warriors, Anti-Entropy uses mechs powered by Honkai energy. The sovereign of Anti-Entropy is none other than Welt Yang.
Well, Yang, my boy! The goat! Wait, is this real? Wait, there's no
First
way.
Herrscher. The last notable organization is Fourth Serpent, which traces its roots back to the previous era. They use previous era technology
I think I remember what a Herrscher is, only because of Welt Yang lore, if I remember correctly. I'm not going to go into it because I genuinely don't think I'll get it right.
Main goal is to enact Project Stigma, a frightening plan from the previous era meant to end the Honkai at the cost of humanity itself. The leader of Fourth Serpent is Kevin Kaslana, a warrior from the previous era who survived in the current one.
Holy shit.
Honkai gives birth to powerful entities called Herrschers who can bend physical laws. Normally, Herrschers are under the influence of the cocoon of Finality as they are projections of its powers. However, due to the sacrifice
So, Herrschers are kind of a lot like Stellarons, like in Honkai Star Rail, I guess. They're very similar, it seems like, in that regard. Maybe I'm reading too much into it, but it kind of seems what it's kind of like. I can't... So, Herrschers are, like, super overpowered, then.
Sacrifice of a certain Herrscher from the previous era, the Herrschers of the current era are no longer tied to the cocoon's influence. Additionally, the birth of a Herrscher is always accompanied by the formation of a Herrscher core, which you can think of as a source of power for a Herrscher, allowing them to draw Honkai into physical world and bend the laws of nature. Some Herrscher cores are also referred to as gems, but note that they are the same thing.
Okay. Story recap. Okay, so this is what we're here for. Oh, we got an ad playing. But yeah, this is what we're mostly here for, is the lore, boys.
It begins with Kiana Kaslana, May Raiden, and Bronya Zajcik, three Valkyrie trainees sent to stop a rogue battleship powered by Honkai energy from destroying a city. After reaching the control room, they learned that the battleship was gifted to Kiana by an unknown party who also tasked her with gathering 4 keys, each corresponding to a Herrscher gem left behind years ago during the second eruption when Sirin, the second Herrscher, almost destroyed Earth. Suddenly, the
shall go get magical MacGuffins. Okay, so that's pretty... So the first half was pretty much explaining the Herrschers and, like, you know, Welt Yang and stuff like that. That's pretty pog. And then we're getting here in chapters 1 is explaining what the story's going into. Okay.
Microchip implanted in Bronya's brain is hacked by Cocolia, an anti-entropy agent, forcing her to attack...
Oh! Oh, fuck! Wait a minute! I'm drawing the comparisons between... Okay, so in Honkai Star Rail, Cocolia is Bronya's, like, adopted mom or whatever, or just her mom. But what the fuck? In this timeline, she's just cooked, gamer. Oh god. She's got the brain worms and everything.
Kiana and May. They manage to subdue her and they begin their journey to find the keys. Later, they find one of the keys, the Gem of Desire, in Schicksal's Oceania branch, implanted in a young Valkyrie named Wendy. Due to the implant, Wendy lost her ability to walk and harbors deep feeling of hatred towards the people who did this to her. This hatred leads her to become the Fourth Herrscher, who has authority over wind. They stop Wendy, but Bronya's microchip is hacked again by Cocolia, who kidnaps both Wendy and May. Also, I forgot to mention, May is actually the third Herrscher who has authority over lightning. Kiana, Teresa, and...
Dude. Of course. How could it get worse?
Himeko team up to save them. They rescue May, but Wendy is killed by Cocolia. Bronya falls into a coma after burning the microchip in her head. To find a way to save Bronya, Teresa...
Well, to be fair, I guess that is what brain damage after having a chip fried in your head would do to you. So to be fair, in Bronya's defense, I kinda can't blame her.
Enters Schicksal's secret library to search for a cure. This library can create a virtual world of events that happened in the past. Kiana follows Teresa and ends up witnessing the events of the second eruption when her mother, Cecilia Shariak, died fighting the Herrscher of the Void. But everything turns out to be an illusion created by Sirin to break Kiana's spirit and take over her body. Fuhua, who was an undercover agent sent by Otto, kidnaps Kiana and Brady. Fuhua, who was an undercover agent sent by Otto, kidnaps Kiana.
I thought they said Hua, from, okay, so Vivi told me there's going to be a lot of names that are going to be very similar. There's going to be a lot of comparisons to Star Rail. And so far, the Cocolia one with Bronya is like almost identical, except in Star Rail is more manipulation than like literal brain chip controlling you. You know what I mean?
Kiana and brings her to Schicksal HQ. In order to get Kiana back, Teresa decides to ally with Dr. Einstein and Tesla from Anti-Entropy. At the same time, it is revealed that
Hang on.
Dr. Einstein and Tesla...
Yeah. As a history person, this is kind of awesome. We got Einstein and Tesla, baby! Yo, Tesla's kind of a baddie. I'll give her that, but look at our boy Einstein here! Yo, that's so cool. That's so cool to just name them after, like, actual people. Like, let's go.
From Anti-Entropy. At the same time, it is revealed that Otto's goal was to revive the second Herrscher and that Kiana was a genetically modified clone created to house Sirin's consciousness.
Once again, the guy's name has Apocalypse in it. It's almost like he was destined to be a bad guy. Wow.
The Senfreya group infiltrates Schicksal HQ, but it's too late to stop Otto's plan. The Herrscher of the Void takes over Kiana's body, and all attempts to fight her prove futile. The Herrscher even extracts the Gem of Conquest from Mei. Even Fuhua, revolted by Otto's actions, turns on him, but Otto shoots her. Otto then reveals that his true plan is to have a Valkyrie sacrifice herself to stimulate Kiana's emotions, allowing her to regain control over her body and becoming a human who can use Herrscher powers. Unfortunately, Otto's plan succeeds after Himeko, guided by Fuhua's consciousness, dons a powerful battlesuit from the previous era. This gives Himeko enough power to fight the Herrscher of the Void, but she ends up sacrificing herself to bring Kiana back. The events pick up.
Bro, that's why, so Himeko does die in this timeline. Okay. That's kind of crazy, though. Yo, the animation looked sick, though, also. Maybe I should react to all the, sick animations. Vivi showed me a few. Some of them are pretty sick, but holy fuck. So, yeah, she sacrifices herself to pretty much break, I guess, from what Vivi's told me, the main character out of that. Vivi's explained this story to me before. This is why we're doing the deep dive, boys. You have to understand. I have to know.
Up 4 months later, Kiana is still missing, and the Senfreya group heads to Ark City to make contact with a broker named Great Serpent, who has information about Kiana's whereabouts. By the time they arrive, Great Serpent has already been killed by Rita, a Schicksal agent sent by Otto. Afterward, we learn that Great Serpent is still around. In fact, he's not even a human, but a mass-produced robot behind the World Serpent organization. Their goal is to free their leader, Kevin Kaslana, from the Sea of Quanta. To explain this briefly, the Sea of Quanta is a chaotic space with its own unique laws. The sea also contains the so-called bubble worlds, which, as the name suggests, are unstable worlds born from the sea. Kevin, the leader of War Serpent, was cast in...
Kevin, leave this place soon. Carry on with our mission, Project Valkyrie. Let's continue. Kevin, no. Okay, so we're learning about... So, our main protag is missing. Otto's still about doing his own thing, looking for the Herrschers or what's not. And also, my everything is broken. That's good. Hang on 1 second. Let me fix this. But it looks like our protag is pretty well fixed. You know, I was really hoping I wouldn't have to edit this later, but it looks like I might have to because my shit is freaking out. Let's grab this here real quick, shall we? Let's move this over here, shall we? It is not going where it should go. There we go. Everything is broken. Everything is bad. 1 second. Stop him! Alright, now we're back.
Into the sea 1,500 years ago. We also learned that Weltiang, the sovereign of Anti-Entropy, ended up in the Sea of Quanta and remained there to ensure that Kevin wouldn't escape. The group splits into two. Teresa...
Wait, so Weltiang stays there to make sure Kevin doesn't escape from the voidy, placey thingy. Okay.
Bronya and Einstein go to the Deep, an ancient city from the previous era, after responding to Kokolia's emergency request for help, while May and Tesla continue to search for Kiana. The next few chapters focus on Bronya. We learn about her past, how she was raised in an orphanage in Siberia by Kokolia together with Rosalia, Lilia and Sele. Unfortunately, after an experiment...
Bro, quite literally, she's just Bronya from... Honkai Star Rail is just this Bronya. Well, not that this isn't Bronya, but
A few years back, Sele got trapped into the Sea of Quanta.
Yes,
oh, and one important thing about Sele is that she has another personality born from her stigmata, which I'm gonna call Red Sele from now on. Cocolia's group is being attacked by Schicksal forces since she possesses the Gem of Desire, but Cocolia threw the gem into the Sea of Quanta to force cooperation from Einstein and the rest. Oh, did I mention that the Deep has a way to access the Sea of Quanta? And things get even more complicated when it is revealed that Cocolia was secretly working with Grey Serpent, who promised to bring Sele back from the sea, and Brune is forced to dive into the Sea of Quanta alone. There, she meets a young boy named Joachim, who makes her undergo several trials in different bubble worlds where she reunites with Sele. The young boy is later revealed to be Welt Yang, who crafted these trials to pass on his Herrscher powers to Bronya, who becomes the new Herrscher of...
So this isn't even our... Wait, does our Welt Yang even come into the picture yet? I think I remember something about our Welt Yang in Honkai taking on the name Welt Yang, and that's not his actual name. So Welt Yang in the Bubble Worlds made a bunch of trials for Bronya so he could pass on his Herrscher powers to her. Or at least in this world. Okay.
Of reason. Meanwhile, Sele finds herself in a bubble world created from Kevin Kaslana's memories, the leader of Fourth Serpent and the ancestor of Kiana's family. Inside this bubble world, Sele witnesses how Kevin and his companions failed to stop the Herrscher of Corruption from destroying the last remaining human cities 50,000 years ago. Kevin retrieves the Gem of Desire and is finally able to leave the Sea of Quanta, defeating both Bronya and Welt. Thankfully, everyone survives and Bronya and Sele are reunited after many years. In the following chapters, we see how...
But our heroes lost, though, right? Welt and Bronya got beat, but... Okay, interesting. I think I'm still lost.
Kiana tries to cope with the events that happened 4 months ago. Overwhelmed by guilt, Kiana attempts to end her own life, but she is stopped by Fuhua, who attach her consciousness to Kiana before being shot by Otto. With Fuhua's help, the Herrscher of the Void's consciousness is suppressed, and Kiana gains partial control over her Void powers. Meanwhile, Fourth Serpent tries to blow up an entire city using a bomb powered by Honkai energy.
You know, just as you do.
Kiana, using her Herrscher powers, takes the bomb into the stratosphere, where it detonates and Kiana is hit with the Honkai energy from the explosion. As she falls, Kiana is caught by Durandal, the strongest Schicksal Valkyrie, who captures her and takes Kiana to a Schicksal base in Africa. Kiana is unable to escape Durandal until the base is attacked by Fourth Serpent. Using the Chaos as cover, Kiana escapes but is confronted by Kevin. Fuhua, who is revealed to be Kevin's old companion and a survivor from the previous era, stalls Kevin enough for Kiana to escape. Consumed by anger and regret, Kiana teleports to Nagazora, the city where she first met May and Bronya 3 years earlier. May and Tesla pick up a signal left by Kiana and arrive at Nagazora. They follow her and meet a homeless girl named Sora, who, along with other children, lives in the...
I'm gonna be real, this is probably one of the rarest times where I'm like reacting to something and I don't have anything to say. This is batshit crazy storytelling. It's over the place. I don't know what's going on. This man's spitting, but... Oh my god, so just going back here. So, main protagonist tries to kill themselves, gets stopped by the person who's attached to their soul, essentially. But she's friends with the guy used to be partners with the guy who's currently over in charge. But,
ruins of the city. The children are cared for by an individual they call Sensei, revealed to be Raven, an agent of Fourth Serpent who is there to kill Kiana. While they initially work together to fight Kiana, May and Raven eventually fight. After witnessing May's determination, Raven relents and allows her to reunite with Kiana. The two are reunited once more, but this time it is revealed that the Herrscher courts are poisoning Kiana and she only has 2 months left to live. After learning this harrowing truth,
crazy. It's almost like the Herrscher shouldn't be combined to create a person, and it's kind of bad.
May desperately searches for a cure, and the only one who promises a solution is none other than Kevin Kaslana. Kevin tells May that she must become the Herrscher of Thunder again, which will remove the Gem of Conquest from Kiana's body, giving them enough time to implement Project Stigma and save the world from Honkai. To do this, May agrees to join Fourth Serpent and help them. While all this happens, Otto and Kevin form an alliance. Otto opens up an imaginary singularity in Nagazora, and May absorb...
Nothing bad will ever happen from the two main bad guys fusing their efforts together. Nothing. Unless I'm wrong and neither of them are bad, but it seems like they're both bad in their own right.
The Honkai energy to become the Herrscher of Thunder once more. After hearing what happened, Kiana tries to stop May from leaving, but after a heart-wrenching conversation, May departs with the word Serpent. May, now a word Serpent agent, is sent with Raven to a tropical island called Coral Island to subdue a newly formed Herrscher, the Herrscher of Ice. It turns out that the Herrscher of Ice is a former Schicksal Valkyrie named Anna Shariak. They also meet Owl, another word Serpent agent. Owl and Anna knew each other as Anna saved his life a few years prior. Owl betrays Raven and May to protect Anna, and they both end up combining into a super Herrscher called the Herrscher of Rhymestar. May and Randall manage to defeat the monster and obtain both the...
Wait, so these two just fused together and like became super strong. That's kind of sick though.
Core of Ice and the core from the newly formed Herrscher of Stars. Remember that a while ago Otto shot Fuhua in the head? Well, while all of this was happening, the Herrscher of Sentience awoke in Fuhua's body. Fuhua is immortal, so after Otto shot her, he put her into a healing pod. But Fuhua transferred her consciousness before she was shot, so there was no one in her body to wake up, which turned out to be the perfect opportunity for the Honkai to take over. The Herrscher of Sentience, who had Fuhua's memories when she woke up, killed one of Otto's clones, destroyed one of Word Serpent's bases, and fought Kevin, after which she gained possession of the feather that housed Fuhua's real
Wait, so Otto killed Fuhua, but she transferred her consciousness away from that body, and now her body's just controlled by the Herrscher that's in that body, and that Herrscher's just like got the residue memories of her, and is going around fucking shit up? Okay.
Consciousness. From there, the Herrscher of Sentience and Fuhua visit Mount Taishuan, a place where Fuhua lived for many millennia. There, the Herrscher of Sentience has a whole identity crisis until she realizes that she's not the real Fuhua. Meanwhile, Kiana and Bronya also visit the same place to look for some techniques left behind by Fuhua that could help them control their Herrscher powers. After they arrive, they witness Fuhua's memory spanning her 50,000 years life, which turned out to be planned by the Herrscher of Sentience to make them learn more about Fuhua. Then the Herrscher of Sentience makes Kiana and Bronya decide who is the better Fuhua. Of course, Kiana and Bronya choose the Fuhua they know, and the Herrscher of Sentience throws a temper tantrum, but they end up defeating her. After a while, the Herrscher of Domination...
Bro, that literally, it's just like, well, which one's better? The me now or the other me who you already knew? Well, clearly they're going to pick the one that they knew.
Who has the power to copy negative human emotions and create up to 1,000 puppets from them, is wreaking havoc around the world. The first part of this arc focuses on Cele and the dynamic between her and her counterpart. Cele is slowly becoming more mature, and the other Cele grows scared, thinking that Cele will no longer need her. The Herrscher of Domination tries to exploit that fear, but both Celes manage to overcome it, and Cele gives the other Cele full control of the body for the first time. The latter part of the arc focuses on Kiana. After a failed attempt to stop the Herrscher of Domination, Kiana gets dragged into the Theater of Domination, a separate dimension belonging to the Herrscher. There, the Herrscher of Domination wakes up the Herrscher of the Void inside.
This arc sounds like it's very similar to, specifically, to the Pinacoli arc a little bit, right?
Kiana, by showing Kiana proof that Himeko is indeed dead. We finally learn that Kiana and the Herrscher of the Void personality are both personalities born from Syrian's wishes. Kiana represents her wish to live a normal life, and the Herrscher of the Void is her wish for revenge. Kiana defeats the Herrscher of the Void and gains full control over the Herrscher powers. After a brief reunion and goodbye with Himeko's after image inside the Gem of Haste, Kiana defeats the Herrscher of Domination and becomes the Herrscher of Flamescion, commanding both the powers of Void and Fire.
Yo, sick.
The time has finally come for Otto to put his 500 years long plan into motion and bring back his childhood friend and love of his life, Kalen Kaslana. Otto resigns as Schicksal Overseer and passes down the title to Teresa. He then lures the Senfreya group and Anti-Entropy to Colosten, where the old Schicksal HQ was located, using the Core of Domination as bait. When they arrive, Otto does his best to get on everyone's nerves, secretly preparing trials and obstacles for them to overcome and grow.
Otto's such a fucking cock, dude. This whole story just seems like you want to beat the fuck out of this Otto guy. My god.
Also furthering his plan plan. We finally learned that Durandal is the real Kiana, who was thought to be dead for 10 years. With her real identity revealed, Durandal teams up with Kiana to deal with Otto once and for all. Otto had amassed an infinite amount of imaginary energy by forming a connection with the imaginary tree, becoming a false god. However, he still couldn't realize his plan, but he used Kiana's hatred for him to make her use the power of the Herrscher of the Void on him, which allowed his soul to free itself from the constraints of the tree. This enabled Otto to reach the wedge of the world, where he created a branching timeline in which Kallen never died 500 years ago, finally realizing his long-lasting wish at the cost of his life.
You can literally watch the ads disappear in real time. It's incredibly satisfying.
Gamer did all this shit for 500 years just to bring Kiana back to life in a branching timeline. Interesting, okay.
After Otto's story concludes, it's time to cover Elysian Realm, which I'm not going to do in this video. Look, Elysian Realm is massive, so I'll link you some of my other videos where I do a full story recap for it. Please watch those to fully understand it. Kevin has finally implemented Project Stigma, which placed every person on Earth inside a giant collective dream. He also hijacked the authority of Finality from the cocoon. Project Stigma aims to merge the consciousness of all humans into a giant dream, which in turn would give birth to physical manifestations of human ideas, which are basically living stigmata who can coexist with the Honkai. All the people who had a naturally awakened stigmata were transported to the moon, and all active Herrschers were thrown into the Sea of Quanta. There, May and Kiana finally reunite, and with the
Wait, so all the Herrschers just get sucked into the Sea of... Oh, fuck.
With the help of some familiar faces, they manage to unlock the mental constraints on their authorities and escape from the Sea of Quanta and confront Kevin on the moon. Unfortunately, Kevin outmatches them in combat. This is when Mistalin, a Word Serpent agent behind Project Stigma, traps Kiana, May and Bronya inside a dream, intending to take control over the powers of the Herrscher of Reason. As the story progresses, we learn that Mistalin's true goal was to help Bronya awaken as the Herrscher of Truth, the complete form of the Herrscher of Reason. Afterward, the group returns to Earth, only to find that most of it has already been consumed by Project Stigma. Anti-Entropy and Schicksal come up with a plan together to stop Kevin. Durandal, Fuhua, Teresa and Sela enter the giant dream to steer the will of the humans trapped there and make them want to wake up on their own. While there, they also steal a part of Kevin's authority. May reclaims the lost authority of Origin, which once belonged to Elysia, becoming the new Herrscher of Origin. Kiana, after absorbing all Herrscher authorities, is recognized by the cocoon as the true Herrscher of Finality. Then, they battle Kevin one final time and defeat him, finally surpassing his ambition. Kiana gets the full authority of Finality and becomes the new goddess of Earth. Since Earth is still recovering from Project Stigma, Kiana remains on the moon to siphon all the Honkai energy there and find a way to convert Honkai energy into regular energy so that it won't threaten humanity in the future. And this is pretty much the story of part 1 summarized, but we're not done yet. No, there's still part 1.
Wait, what? She's on a train! Wait a minute! Bro, my brain just got... But she's on a train. Wait, what does that mean though? She's the Herrscher of Finality. Is that like Nihility? Because Nihility is the end, right? Oh, I got so many questions that aren't being answered properly for me.
So, let's start with Sela's arc. Sela is lured into a bubble world that's actually two bubble worlds existing in the same space. Red Sela and Blue Sela are separated. As they search for each other, they meet Vita, a cheerful and bubbly girl who offers to serve as their guide. Later, we found out that Vita is from Venus, and that 250 million years ago, Venus also fought the cocoon of Finality, but was destroyed. The two bubble worlds are on the brink of destruction, and the one behind this is being referred to as Sa, the abyss of the Sea of Quanta. Sa is a being that evolved to be similar to the cocoon of Finality and is planning to destroy the two bubble worlds to harness the energy resulted from their destruction. To stop Sa, they need to create a new Herrscher that is born in the Sea of Quanta and use its authority to cut the connection between Sa and the bubble worlds. Vita is revealed to be Sa's proxy, a clone of Sa that is going around the Sea of Quanta to harness energy. It is also revealed that Sa was the last survivor of Venus and gained some power from the Sea of Quanta. After millions of years of growing, Sa became a being similar to the cocoon of Finality. After Cele becomes the Herrscher of Rebirth, she manages to defeat Vita and cut off Sa's connection to the two bubble worlds. Vita then reveals that this was part of her plan to free herself from Sa's clutches and be free. After thanking Cele, Vita disappears. The second half happens on a dwarf planet.
After you help her, and this was all actually part of my 5-head plan to not be controlled by the crazy Herrscher thingy anymore. Thank you. Bye-bye. I'm gone forever. Never part of the story again. Bye.
The edge of the solar system called Phosphorus. Fu Hua is teleported there by a mysterious force. There, Fu Hua meets 7 city representatives who all look like child versions of Vita. As Honkai beasts keep appearing on Phosphorus, Fu Hua and the small Vitas begin investigating. Soon, Fu Hua learns that Phosphorus was, in fact, created from the seeds carried by Grisio, one of her fellow flame chasers from the previous era, while implementing Project Ark. Project Ark was supposed to be an alternative to Project Steam.
That outfit looks a lot like the Genshin Impact outfit. What the fuck?
And Grisio was tasked with finding a suitable planet without Honkai to rebuild humanity. Sa lured Grisio here and stole the genomes from the Ark to create life. Grisio fell into a deep slumber, but Fu Hua wakes her up. We also learned that soon after Vita left the bubble world where she fought Cele, she was captured by Sa and imprisoned inside a small pocket space in the Sea of Quanta. With Fu Hua's help, Vita escapes. The one who brought Fu Hua here was Su, another flame chaser and the same person who threw Kevin into the Sea of Quanta 1500 years ago. After ascending to a higher plane, Su was able to observe our world and came up with a plan to stop Sa by bringing Fu Hua here. Fu Hua, Grisio, Vita, and Mistalin managed to push Sa back, and just before Sa was about to flee, Kiana fires a beam of energy at it from the moon, essentially eradicating all its roots from the proper world. Inside the Sea of Quanta, Sa is extremely weakened, and Vita takes this opportunity to kill it and take over its authority. Now that she is completely free, Vita leaves Phosphorus and her story will continue on Mars during part 2.
Jesus Christ. Okay, well fuck me running backwards. That's fucking nutty. Oh my brain is melted. My brain is melted. I don't even have words to describe what I just witnessed. Humu Labs, everyone, go check them out. What a fucking crazy video. When Vivi was wanting me to watch the Honkai Impact lore, yeah, no, there are a lot of characters that are very similar. It seems like most of the stories are like parallel to the first half of Star Rail, which is very strange for me, right? So playing through Star Rail, it's been pretty much it's been interesting nonetheless. I enjoy Star Rail's story. This story, I have no fucking clue who wrote this, who was on acid writing this shit. But anyway, at the end of the day, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hit that like subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.